Right, hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to share the stream around, but we are up and running for Luke v Roby. I am just grabbing the link off the YouTube as it loads in. It has gone live, hasn't it? Yeah, good, just double checking, but thank you all so much, I believe I just did. We are here for Luke v Roby. Luke is hosting tonight's playlist. We're just doing one of the two. We'll be doing the second one over the next few days. And already 6 of you tuning in. Thank you all very, very much. Hello, Tunfer and Now. Nice to see you in nice and early. Just give me a couple of minutes to get this shared around, because then the guys can do as they wish, and we will be fully ready to go. But I do hope you're all very well, and again, thank you for getting in nice and early. YouTube doing a good job with the bell notification. Let me just select the chat, share it too fast, then do, and then we go to
that car is money well.
None of them buttons were the right ones. Reach, share. No, okay. Go back to the I can get sharing. Thank you all so much into our pros chat. If any of you are in the Italian race crew, with it being Roby, and if you do have your own group chat, please do share it across there. Get some of Roby's crewmates in on the action. And then I'll share it to these guys. That's the last place. And right, so they know where I'm at. I'm all good my side. Stream is up and running. You do just need to remove that symbol, but all of you here will already know that, and we will be starting up quite shortly. Hello official, my man, with the roly eyes emoji. And again, I hope everybody is very well. I am thoroughly looking forward to this. Hey, Sapling Azzy. Doing some contact hot ring later tonight if you fancy it with Scarface. Got a bit messy last night, and we're going to make it a bit of a regular thing if you fancy getting involved every now and then, mate. Downright dirty is the way I'd describe it. We go out and bully some randoms. Hey, good cat enters the chat with a what's popping. How you going? And we have Luke versus Roby. And I am thoroughly nice to hear, as he thought it would be right up your street. And we'll have to do it one night with the drinking. Hey, Nacho, my man. Huge congratulations on your couple of world records this week, my man Nacho. I haven't yet done this properly because I only just realised I wasn't subscribed to Nacho's channel earlier, but he has not only taken the East Coast record a few days ago, he also got the Racing Alley world record for 1 lap. The lad is on fire. So do go check out Mr. Z Nacho's channel. Go show him some support. He is up tomorrow night against Tagger. And we do see that the guys are in the playlist. They are getting themselves ready to go. My hands are starting to sweat. I am all good, Luke, man. Fully on you. I am just chatting away, passing the time. But yep, thank you both very much for allowing me again to commentate on this, and good luck to you both. Honestly, I just want to see you both feel happy with the performance, if not the result, if that makes sense. I don't want to see too much rockstar bullshittery, because I know the drivers are more than capable of handling a loss when it's just not their day, or the skill level being slightly higher from the opponent, but it's when the rockstar bullshit kicks in a little bit too hard, it becomes a little harder to cope with. We are on to, I did want to get these written down, but hello Tyrese, just saw you entering the chat there. Just left the chat, I needed to. We're on to Maybank. There is a stunt lobby open for anybody interested in racing. While they listen along and having a little ear and eye on this between the races, Kino's just opened that up. But we do see Roby has fallen a little bit further behind off the grid. Luke pulling away very nicely from pole, very good control through the corners, has allowed him to extend into the first tube. Really clean and tidy. And just give me 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen, and I will be back with the chat, and any comments I miss I'll make sure I have a little glance through at the midpoint. Luke getting down to the track nice and early, giving himself a perfect line or chance to line himself up for the corner. Roby a little hard against the wall, but the gap is shortening. Roby settling into the drive, has shortened the gap lightly since the entrance to the tube. Luke getting a better knock off the bridge, or maybe avoiding it completely. If the clean drop down didn't come into contact with the barrier, and that has allowed Luke slight advantage heading through the tube. So I'm just quickly writing down their tracks. Nicely out of the tubes and through the tubes, but Luke again has appeared to pull away slightly. Maybank was Roby's choice. Nicely through the corner, avoid the entrance to the tube. I am going to flick over to Luke, apply a little bit of that pressure to him, with him being in the lead. That's that done. I am now fully invested in the action completely. Should have really got that written down before. Hey, Unholy 2, I see as I come in, and like I say, I will double check all of the messages at the end. I do just want to settle myself into the commentating as well. Luke braking nicely at the bottom of the shadow there, making sure his braking point's nice and clean. Really nice line, no need to tap against the wall, with how controlled he was on the throttle, able to push, or just keep slightly within himself, not having to push too hard, just needs to sustain the lead, avoids the bash with the overpass, making it nice and clean, no chance of it sucking him into the barrier as we saw with Roby on the earlier lap. Quick swig of coffee as Luke comes through the first of the red tubes into the blue, nice and clean, no issue with the bricking there. through the tube, into the second blue, onto the blue platform, and through the final series in this little triple blue series. Really clean through and out of the tube, nice and controlled. Again, no issues with the poles or trees. Clips a little bit of curb nicely, getting the revs really high. And there is some brake boosting going on as well here and there from Luke. That little dab of brakes, making sure the car does make it round really clean. The late Luke through tube, again, nice and clean, planting down, nowhere near the curves or the tube, making sure no issue again with that barrier ridge. Looking good and clean from Luke. The best times we've seen so far are the 151.312 from Luke, but Roby with that lap behind is starting to rein him in only ever so lightly, just 0.02 really, and that is 151.290. The lap times are really close, nice and tight between the two, and it's beginning to look like Roby cracking up the pace. Roby not too far behind after the bridge pass, I think just before tubes, maybe after the blue tube loop. I will swap between the two. I'll watch it with Roby. I do believe we'll be able to see a little bit of Luke on the exit and see where things are. Roby is pushing really nice and hard, trying to rein in that little bit of damage from the barrier, close the gaps and maybe make sure and confirm at the very least to get the best lap. That's a really clean and high line through the tube. Tilts the car well to make sure that it helps drag the car back into position. And again, it's two wheels touching down first. And it does seem to be becoming a running theme among the high-end drivers to limit the chances of a brick. Now, you do see Luke, having just passed through the corner, has been able to sustain the lead, but I do believe Roby has limited the damage. May well have confirmed himself the fastest lap. It did look like he might have improved there, except for that little crash with the pole. It still could be an improvement, but that may have just shaved off 100th, 200ths maybe. 150.290 is the fastest lap, but the 539.279 really just cranking the pressure up enough to cause a mistake when he was pushing to catch up. Really, really good first race. That was a Nacho, my man, really no problem. I owed you it, and you are being commentated upon tomorrow, and I've commentated on you many times without giving you a proper shout out, so that was fully deserved. But make sure I've said hello to everybody again. So there's been Tunson in now, official. We've got my man Azzy, Good Cat, Scarface, Nacho, and then we've got Tyrese and my man and Holy. I do hope you're all very, very well. If not tonight, I'm going to get my drinking tomorrow, and we'll do a more. I'm going to get a bigger bottle of rum this time. Azzy, don't worry. But tonight I'm on my green herb. So my mind's not straight, if that's... Hey, Tagger, my man. We do see Roby has fallen again, just ever so slightly away, but regaining some of the lost time through missed brake boosts from Luke, drawing level and passing by. We are going to swap on to Luke. Oh, I accidentally double swap Luke, catching half brake boost there, not losing as much speed. Did catch a final one just before the incline to the hill, and was able to carry a lot of speed through it again, going for the brake boosting. And Roby too, on the left side, on the harder side. Roby is here and there chasing them brake boosts. Catches it there, nice and clean, limiting the damage, and it looks like beginning to ever so lightly rein Luke in. Plummet is Luke's choice. Luke looking to push. Again, just another little shout out here. Randos did recently get the new record, breaking into the 54s. A bit of a ramp ride from Roby is going to see him drop in onto the street below, and that is going to allow Luke to pull away. Hello, Nin Halo and my man Mobbin. I hope you are both doing exceptionally well on this slightly overcast, rainy evening here in Leicester. But luckily I'm inside watching some mighty fine racing, and Luke had the lead already. But Roby did appear to just be reining it in, but then slightly undercutting the jump up has handed Luke this one without any respawns from Luke. It will go his way. Being exceptionally clean. Thank you very much, Mobbin. Just giving a couple of people's channels a little shout out. So I've missed out on shouting Nacho out before, and Randos with a newly set up channel. There'll be quite a few members of the community not signed up to them, and with them having just got a couple of new records between them, or a few between them, seemed like a very good time to send some people across. Luke has been exceptionally clean, is waiting up very, very nicely for Roby, making sure no chance of the DNF, but that is 2-0 to Luke, having taken Plummet 1 and Maybank away from Roby. Luke's choice out of these two was Plummet. The playlist, I believe, as I'm in the chat with the two of them, it is on shuffle. But wow, Luke putting in a nice, clean, strong performance so far, making no mistakes, has been able to sustain and hold the lead, taking a good 2-race lead here against Roby. Roby is not an easy competitor to come up against. Roby is one of the best in the Italian race crew and ride. He's right up there. He's usually in the A lobbies, stuff like that, pushing. Luke was feeling a little bit nervous coming up against him, knowing he is a quick lad. But Luke here, with the experience in the 1v1 situation and the high pressure environment, is handling it nicely. And thank you very much for that, Tagger. As he does say, please do like the stream if you're enjoying the content. Does help draw more people to it a little bit more naturally, and I am going to start looking for places I can push it to. This is Roby. We are with Luke in his, I believe it's like a purple, one of the purples, a lilac-y colour. Really, really nice, really clean look to the car. And it is looking really, really nice. Now, while we're heading through the corners again, tomorrow night at 7 PM, I am bringing you Tagger the Nacho, and then a little bit later, something a little bit different. There'll be a bit of a pre-lobby and a preamble with the two crews, but bringing you a crew head-to-head battle on some rally and street style created track between track racers and the ultimate race crew. That'll be from around 10:15, 10:30 through quite late, potentially up to around 2 o'clock. It has been a nice, clean exit from both. Luke did manage to retake the lead through the tube after Roby had initially taken the lead just before the entrance. A bit heavy off the barrier from Roby has allowed Luke to pull away a little bit more comfort zone. Really not a lot. It's nice and tight between the two of them. Luke with a slightly later, higher line but onto the boost, nice and early, has pulled away again. A bit more of an advantage. Continues seemingly doing so. Yeah, just I do it just so people can have a little look at stuff as it comes, and then as cars fall a little bit out of sync a bit more, I pull it up so it's got that up. If that makes any sense, it just makes it a little bit cleaner. But I do bring it up on the map when the cars aren't in sight so we can see where they are. But we are going to stick with Roby from now, with Luke having exited the tube and having to respawn. Roby heads in the opposite way to me. It was a very sharp dab of the handbrake and a swing round, goes with the loop into the approach. It is a straight approach and he goes quite long, pulls wide for the corner. It is looking nice and clean. Oh, a big brick though there at the bottom of the hill, and I know Luke very well. He will not want to take advantage of that anyway, but with the mistake, he's not going to see it. He's just going to shorten the gap for now. But Roby is back up and going over the ramp nice and clean the second time. Luke with the ramp skip, a little bit higher than he'd like on an absolutely perfect run, but it begins to limit the damage from the respawn. Good, great boosting from Luke as he comes onto the straight, and again just as he crosses the line, really cranking up the speed into the boost pads and over the jump. Really good and clean. Roby does still have quite a strong lead at this point, but really did get shortened up with him having to respawn as well. Just a little bit less damaging with how far back he needed to go to be respawned. The tube, it's a long way you end up travelling back. Good. Oh, it looked good, but Luke bricking on a flat part of the barrier there, and that's, I guess that levels it up on the bricks, and now we're fully down to whether there's a mistake from Roby. I just say Roby because I'm not 100% sure. Roby, I'm used to seeing it with IE 2Bs. But that's just me being a bit stupid and backwards and trying to make sure if I am mispronouncing it one way, I'm covering my bases nice and clean both sides. But Roby is nice and clean through this section. A little slide and the back end did kick out ever so lightly on that first two corners. Handled really clean. Down low portion of the boost from Roby, a higher line this time, sort of matching more with Luke, still taking that low approach across the boost. And that could allow Luke, again with clean lines, the potential to really shorten the gap. I know that higher boost line does appear to be the way to go, and the earlier you can get on it. Oh, it's lucky it's so low. It was a lovely clean exit. If it had been any higher, there'd have been a severe risk of drifting to the right too far, but with it being so nicely executed, it just handled it exceptionally well. Lovely stuff, and that is really going to make it difficult for Luke to shorten that gap up. On the first lap, with the mistakes, we saw the 3:06.755 and the 3:12.848. Luke will improve upon his 3:12, as will Roby. The barrier playing a little bit of havoc, but it's not a respawn. But Luke's time with the heavy barrier smash and the quick 360 will, I imagine, have lost more time to Roby than maybe gained. But we do see Luke about to straighten up for this section, and the jump up, Roby takes the jump nice and clean, and after this lap I believe I will swap to Luke because the gap is a little bit smaller than I thought it would be. Luke must nicely on for a good time, even with that brick. 2:55.4. Roby clips the very bottom of the ramp. That looked risky to me. Maybe that was lag because he still landed in a similar place. And Luke, even with that heavy barrier smash for 2:55.009 to 2:55.418 from Roby. There goes just my slight bit of HUD disappearing. Just see how far ahead Roby is. You do see Roby has just swung through that left ahead of Luke. Luke is going to need to be clean and fast to shorten the gap, and there wasn't much between the lap times, but Luke could have maybe had another 2-second gain. Potentially after that barrier crash. It is a high speed corner. He did lose a lot of speed, basically starting again from dead stop. Luke is just clicking up a bit. The back end just kicks off the track, but that was a clean exit. It will still be on for a very nice lap time potentially with that mistake. Not quite into his PB territory with it having kicked him off the track and losing all of his traction momentarily and having to straighten back out. But that was so low, so crisp, so close to perfect that it, without a doubt, going to be applying pressure to Roby. Luke really pushing hard for them good, clean exits, and we'll see what he does on this second tube. Saw how nicely Roby can get it, and if he gets it like that again, it will make it hard for Luke to do much with. It's a slightly higher exit than Roby goes with, but it is a little bit longer in the jump. Luke spins the car around, lets the car then drift back round. Really nice, little bit of flair from Luke. A lot of people may think that that sort of stuff isn't always meant from these drivers. Occasionally it won't be if the car looks out of control before, but if the car is in control at the point before, I do believe they do it just for a little bit of showmanship. We did see Luke rotate the car to the right himself. The in-air handbrake control. Nice exit from Luke. You see Roby has managed to hold the lead, and without any incident, and I know if it is a bricking incident, Luke will not have it. Nice slide through the corner just to take speed off enough. It's a good low ramp skip there from Luke. Really nice and clean. Like that a lot. Going for the brake, he's just getting the squeal and across the line. Whew. So after the mistake from Luke, he was able to drive very cleanly, and we'll see what that last lap was from both. 2:54.167 is the best lap, and Luke, unfortunately, with the car bucking up the way it did and maybe the slide around the corner just not allowing him to improve. Less than 10 seconds between two. That does bring it back to 2-1. Roby has taken Gauntlet. That was his own choice. Sorry, I did forget to mention that. Roby's choices are Maze Bank, Liftoff, Gauntlet and Pier Race. Luke's are Wall Climb, Green Machine, Plummet 1 and H200. We've already seen H200, Maze Bank and Gauntlet. Luke took Maze Bank and Plummet 1, and Roby has taken Gauntlet. I've just said them words quite a few times in a row. Sorry about that. We head into the fourth. Into this, we will be at the halfway point. We are with Luke off the line. Roby on the left on pole. And away to go. Good strong start from Luke early onto the curb has allowed him to pull into the early lead. Roby with slightly tighter corner. Luke slightly wider has allowed Roby to almost pull level again, but Luke getting exceptionally clean across the curbs has led Roby into hitting the tube, trying to push hard to keep up with Luke. Luke handling speed just a little bit better, knowing the D8 line into that tube. Really nice. Roby trying to follow it, maybe just losing a little bit of traction where Luke feathered to put himself round into the tube. Very unlucky from Roby. See this crisp line from Luke. We'll stick with Luke for now, just for at least this lap. Then we'll have a little look where Roby is. If it's close, we'll stick with Roby. Otherwise, we might flick back to Luke. Roby just about to enter these corners behind Luke. And it is going to be quite hard for Roby to catch Luke on this track without any mistakes from Luke, with it being quite boost dependent. Luke does know places helps the RNG with the boost maybe, and some people don't believe it's that RNG based, just how crisply and clean you get the line through the loops and the tubes to get then boost. Slightly thinner line on that second loop when you took on the first, ever so slightly, and then again nice and wide, going almost right up that last little black band for the edge, pushing close to the edge of the track but not quite brushing against the barrier, not wanting any issues with the barrier, just making sure that the car nicely in control stays away from any of the barrier after the incident on Gauntlet. Just not wanting to trust it, and fair play to Luke and understand that. A nice line up. Again, just nice and clean, little landing on the back wheels, nice and soft, pulls into the tube, little lag spike, did initially show Luke as though he was going to drive straight off the edge, but pulled round, kind of snapped that into position. That is a good clean line from Luke. Handles the little bumps through the tube nicely, not disrupting the line too much at all, across the curves with all four wheels and pushing hard. Is a 1:32.281 from Luke on the first lap. Could be looking good. Across the curves nicely. I believe that was a missed brake boost into the tube. We're going to have a little look at where Roby is, have a quick look at his lap time, try and see what the distance was at a line cross from Roby. What's 7 seconds, just over. Roby though, nice and clean through this section of the track, hoping to rein Luke in. Luke did just exit the tube as Roby pulled on to line up for it. It's looking good and clean, looking nice, pulling through. Oh, but I'm going to swap on. It looked like Roby had enough distance there between the barrier, but maybe just the visible wall of it as it chucks out, catching him. That's one of the things we're maybe trying to get looked at with the issues that we're raising with Rockstar at the moment. Maybe he was a little bit close to it on his screen, but he did look like he had plenty of space between him and the barrier. I was literally about to say making it nice and tidy round the corners, but Luke is doing that, staying nice and far away from the barriers, catching the last corner of the boost, making sure he carries his speed nicely at the jumping here, and just feathering the throttle in the air, trying to maintain the engine revs. Again, feathers the throttle just ever so lightly before the jump up, trying to minimise the time in the air, and it is nicely done by Luke. Lovely brake boost into the tube, maximising the speed and getting to top speed as quickly as possible. Pulls around a little bit more sharply, and then lines up to the final boost line, nice and clean. See a 2:28.950 there from Luke, and is pushing hard. If he can get himself a nice low time here, could be looking close PB, or potentially, I'm not sure what it is, they need anybody in chat knows what it is that's needed, Luke has had a 32 low, 0.2, the 28.950. What would he need to potentially be going for that record? Because that's what may stop Luke being able to stop. We are going to stick with Luke, and if any of you do know that, please just let me know. Maybe let me know if it is a record. But Luke, nice and tidy through the corners again. Carries speed, just tiny little slide. We've heard it from the car that handled it. As soon as the car's tyres filled, he did pedal throttle nicely. Little squeak of my mouth there, sorry. And again, hello to everybody tuning in. Thank you all very much for coming by. Luke with this nice line, just pulling slightly to the right to line up for the second loop, really clean. And again, just drifting to the left and begins to pull right as he goes up the incline of the hill. Just adjusting at the bottom of the curve through the corners nicely. Brushing across the barrier this time, taking the risk with him having the lead and pushing very hard. Yeah. Luke has raced very nicely and does look like he's about to extend the lead to 3-1. Luke doing exceptionally well and being pointed out there and noted by Nin Halo, crew leader of Crow. I remember it as myself, and that, unfortunately, Nin, I have been a bit busy to attend anything recently, but I should be able to attend the Sunday playlist at 1 PM this week. Now, Luke is crossing the line. He is on for something nice. He's having to go for it, potentially on for a new PB, and just pushing hard towards the line. There should be plenty of time for Roby to come across the line. We see the 7:30.214 with a 28.881 from Luke. I'm not sure it is quite low enough, but it is a lovely time. I think we're in a little bit lower than that, but that is a very low time from Luke. Really cranking up the pressure on Roby, showing what he's capable of to 34.436 from Roby with 7:59.641 to 7:30.241 with 28.881 as the best final lap there from Luke, improving slightly, bringing it down a little bit more, very consistent around them 28 times. And that is, like I say, Luke having re-extended the lead back to a 2-race advantage, going 3-1 up into the second half. We are on to liftoff, I believe this is. This is Roby's choice. And we do see Luke in the V8, Roby in the Krieger. Luke with the V8 power, initially pulling away, good wheelie off the boost as well, giving him good drive up the hill. Both limit the jump ever so slightly, while taking the big risk of a very low cut. Roby does begin to pull V8 back and does take the lead with the acceleration down the hill. Now through the tubes where the V8 really shines and over jumps again with the power at the end, does get back level, but Roby on the track pieces with better four-wheel drive traction on the landing was able to pull back into the lead. Nice and tidy corner though from Luke is minimising any potential loss here at the point of the track. Luke taking a thinner line through the corner, cutting the corner apex curve, and good braking into the corner again, minimising any potential time loss through the sharp corners in the D8, maximising his chance through these high speed places and then giving himself the best opportunity to extend the lead through the tube. Krieger is also though good through the tubes, and if Roby is able to pull away enough, may be able to hold the lead. Good low transition there from Roby is giving him a good opportunity to hold the lead. Good brake boosting though from Luke on the entry to tube is giving him good revs to come through, and we see the D8 instantly beginning to rein it in and retake the lead. The D8 is now free and away. Krieger struggling with the lines a little bit more, has to wobble about, can't stay as straight for as long to catch the boost. Luke swings round, does the exit nice and clean, down to the ground, nicely, no bricking, and goes. Now he needs to be a bit more careful round corners and hold and maintain them revs really tight. The D8 is holding pace now, missing that boost though, may cost him a little bit of time. Does close up through this corner really tight between two. Roby is going to be able to maybe pull back a little bit through the loop. No, the Krieger gets the good boost. D8 is holding the lead, a little butt of the car on the landing, maybe limiting the chances to do so. And it does look like Luke is going to be able to sustain. We see Roby pulling along nicely. D8 with the higher top speed, able to maintain and hold the lead. That does bring it to 4-1 to Luke. After the fifth race, Luke in a good strong position, having already confirmed the draw in this playlist, has a good comfort blanket. Roby needs to win the last 3 races to even it up. Luke put in a very strong performance there in the D8. To 56.1 to 57.066 from Roby. 2 nice lap times and just under 3 and 4 seconds off world record time. By Jack and the Emma showing that all 3 cars are highly competitive around there. We are on to Pier race. This is the last of Roby's. 3 of Roby's have come up in a row now, and we will have, oh no, sorry, 2. We will have the last 2 of Luke's in Wolfine and H200 to follow this. Right, half the horn off the line from the guys will sit with Luke, I believe it is, in the black and red. It looks nice and clean. Good on the boost from both, no issue with it. Luke looking to try and match the speed of Roby. The slide from Roby does lose him quite a bit of time to Luke. Luke able to catch up. Good curves from Roby allows him to re-extend back into the lead. Ooh, lag brick there. It wasn't an actual brick. Maintaining the pace nicely. Late curve from Roby and a hard swing into the tube. Looking good and clean so far from both. Nice early exit. Early to the track. Able to pull away a little bit more. Lag on the car shows the car just flip through the bottom of the loop. It's an interesting cut there from Luke, and Robbie also did do it. But good again across the curves. Robbie has managed to sustain the lead, punting the ball to the left onto the boot. Aggressive line into the tube from Luke, hoping to catch the curves and a high rev carrying through onto the good boost. Oh, Robbie gets hung up on the platform, has had to respawn as well, and that is going to give Luke a big comfort going through into the next 2 laps. Knows he's now not going to have to push too hard, just needs to stick within himself ever so slightly, and it could well be in the bag. A lot of work for Robbie to do after just cutting that tube exit ever so fine, feathering the throttle. Nice, landed just before it, catching all 4 wheels just before the boost effect happened. We'll go have a quick look how much damage that did do to Robbie before we pull back to Luke. See Robbie just coming across the boost now. Robbie looking nice and clean, has hit one of the pins on our screen. Not sure if he actually didn't lose any speed for how hard he hit, so it may well have been that lag, but we do see from time to time showing something a bit different on our screen. It does look like he's just made a lovely clean exit on his way, and we are going to flick back to Luke after this exit and catch the second exit from himself. Good, clean, low exit, just transitioning to the right, drifting across the curbs, really nice. Robbie swings in for the loop skip, it's a little too high, the checkpoint does trigger though. But that it's not the quick way to cut the loop. Just cutting it a little bit too high on the loop, taking a little bit too much airtime to get down to the track. Luke with a low exit himself. That was absolutely perfect, Luke. All 4 wheels just kissing the corner, maybe giving that curb boosting effect as he went over the edge, giving him high revs on landing. Really well done there, Luke. Really crisp and clean. Sure Nin will have appreciated that. Caught that at the perfect time. Let's have a look at the times from Luke. It did just come off the barrier there, slowing down slightly. It won 49.010 from Luke on that second lap. Really nice lap time there from Luke. Pushing nice and hard to get himself back up to speed. Oh, does come off the barrier, but with a strong lead is going to be able to hold on. Now, anything more like that, and I will head back to Robbie because the gap will be closing. But just get back to him nice and cleanly. Hold this nice and cleanly. And that is good. That's a lovely clean transition from the tube to the track. Pulling it all back nice and speed, getting it all shaken out of his system for big cuts, nicely through the loop as well. And we're going to allow Robbie to drive his drive, having just come through the tube exit, heading through the loop section, I believe. And chasing the breakers, had to just adjust his line slightly, had mistimed it and was going to end up in the gap in the barrier. Did swing in the way he was. Caught it really nice and clean. You see that up to the 4th line in the tube, catching the boost, pulls down nicely through the loop section, a little bit higher on the exit, this time with him being nice and safe in the lead. We are at this point going to swap back to Robbie. Luke will wait up if the time gap is too big. We know this, we've seen it. It's a good, safe, clean exit, carries the speed nicely, a little bit higher than we would like, but making sure that he's out of the tube, clean is the important thing. He's able to cross the line. Robbie just clicking the gap in the barrier ever so lightly, causing a little wobble off the Emirates, brushing the barrier again ever so lightly, and it's nicely done. Luke does take 5-1 lead in this playlist. 2 races left. The 1:49.010 from Luke with a 5:46.655, 5:57.269 with a 1:52.501. Now again, I know Robbie does have more within him on that track. I've seen it myself. But Luke drove very, very well. Just made a couple of errors on that final lap, which did allow Robbie to be able to close the gap enough that there wasn't much waiting time needed at the end. Heading in to the final 2 races, my nerves don't really diminish. It has to be said, with a playlist victory being confirmed one way or the other. It is out of 16 tracks. This is just the first of 2 playlists these guys will be playing over the course of the next few days. The only time I don't have available this weekend is the 10:15 to 10:30 mark and onwards until 2 AM. I can do around that. I do have the one booked in with Taggart and Nacho before already, so I am still fully committed to my Champions League commentary. Just starting to band it out, see if we can bring other people in like commentary. He has held the lead from pole, nice and clean, pulling through the corners. Not the corner heading into this one. No issue with that rough barrier from either. Robbie slightly tighter line, swings a little bit wide to make sure he does drift across the curb. Realising he's losing speed a little bit too much. Good line from both. Luke's is a different line and did appear to lose him just a touch of speed, but regained on that final portion. That was really nice, clean lineup for the cut from Luke, and it did allow us to retake the lead. And this boost line from Luke through the tube, good and strong, has allowed him to pull away a slight advantage. And Edov, my man, I hope you're doing very well. Thank you for popping by, and I hope you're doing nice and well. Luke is managing to sustain and extend the lead through the boost lines in the tube. The aggressive line to try and break through the stop strips nicely. Robbie does 2 behind. It didn't give him the double stop, slid across the stop strips nice and clean, and then got the momentum back cleanly down the hill. But Luke is lying here, pushing really hard, making sure that he does take as strong a position through the second playlist that he can, giving himself the opportunity to do so. Good entry into the tube, and you can see that has minimised the loss to Luke a little bit through that first portion, but Luke does get a good clean exit from the tube, pulling down the hill already through the little kinky ascent, nice and straight from Robbie. Pulls through the corner, carries speed nicely, double wheel across the curb there from Robbie as well, close to the barrier. Let's see them lap times. 2:16.628 from Luke, 2:18.556, just under 2 seconds between the 2 of them at this point. We are going to swap to Luke, spend a lap with him, and then see how the land lies at the end of this lap. Nice and clean round the corner, making sure no chance of coming into contact with either gaps in the barrier. Good clean entrance to the tube, pulls through the line nicely this time, no strange line from Luke, good boost lines all the way. Clean transition through the jump seat, but looking nicely good from Luke here, catching good speed. You see the back end of the Emirates bobbing nicely. Okay, oh, a little slide from Luke, but is able to hold and catch it very nicely. Does allow Robbie the chance to shorten the gap good and aggressive across the curbs, though has allowed me to match and maintain speed again. High above the line, through the stock strips, nice and clean. Just single stop, good downhill, not sure that he caught double clutch, or mid-drive boost as we call it. Coming across the curb, nice and keeping the engine as nice and high, 2 wheels across, did appear to miss the brake boost. We did hear that extended wheel coming high, didn't lose as much speed as we would do on missed brake boost. Catching a little percentage of it and coming through the corners nicely through the tube, corners in the tube, turns in the tube. Sorry, stumbling over my words ever so slightly. Nice and aggressively wide into the corner, carries as much speed through it as you can, and heads in to the final lap. Good double brake boost in from Luke, one just before the line, one just after, and that is going to help him extend the lead to 13.834 from Luke to 15.032 from Robbie. Robbie maybe struggling to hold pace just a little bit with this track. We are going to swap back to Luke, get good views of the better line, try and use them for our own races. Now, it doesn't really allow us to see the entry lines all too well, but we can see the way to get through the tube really nice. All 4 wheels hitting into it, no lift off potentially from it. And it's really clean here from Luke. Again, no issues, heavy on the brake, up the ramps, this part just ever so light to the left. Good brake boost in there from Luke before the jump, sends him nice and long. Curves before boost into the tube. Really clean, high above the band, and again through the stop strip. Did seem to give him a bigger stop that time. That will allow Robbie to shorten the gap so he can get through nice and clean. And we will head back to Robbie because I believe we will be able to see some of Luke through this final section of the track, to see if there's any incidents that do allow Robbie back in. Luke nice and clean up the wall of the building, heading into the tube. Good clean entry from Robbie, no big incidents from any of the drivers. Nicely across the curbs, with Robbie appearing to have held pace. I imagine we'll see some good improvement here from Robbie. Luke on to 13.468. See if Robbie's does come down as well. To 13.468 from Luke is the best lap time with a 6:44.031 to 14.536 with a 48.225 from Robbie, just 4 seconds behind in the end, but that is putting Luke 5 races ahead at this point, 6-1 up. And we head into H200. GG Luke from Ninhalo, showing support to Crow Commissioner. blink and miss it type situation as we see both cars across the jump with this nice camera angle there. Back to Luke as Roby swings ahead. Roby though, maybe not spotting heavy water early enough. Luke does, takes the ramp and does take the lead. Nice and strong, good clean wall ride from Luke. Allows him to extend, but Roby got it nice and clean too, and Luke lining up tube set behind him. Good clean line from Luke, just drifting into the downward section, catching a little bit of water, just helping slow him down really for the corner. Allows him to carry, he does catch the edge bit of the tube. That does allow Roby back into the lead. Back on the pace, nicely clipping a little bit less water, allows him to maintain the revs better through the final section. Good over the curves and onto the bank section here from Luke, and he's pushing hard. Roby a little bit harder against the barrier, does allow Luke to extend. Roby goes left while Luke swings to the right. Roby pulled up a little bit sharply, a good 360 though into the tube, catches it really nice, bit lucky riding it really nicely. Luke with that little triple dab of brakes on the entry into the corner. Again, just a slight flickering of the brakes. It doesn't look like he's actually applying the foot. It's just, see it in the air as well, just the brakes like flickering, dulling the engine ever so slightly to the corner. Doesn't pull up for the checkpoint, and that is going to allow Roby the lead, but Roby also misses the checkpoint. It allows Luke to swing back into the lead. I'm going to go to Roby through it because I do believe we'll be able to see both. If Luke maintains and holds the lead, we will spend the final lap with Luke. We do see Luke slipping into the final 3 tubes here. Handles it all really nice and clean. Stock tyres on Roby's car are really close to catching up on the loop there. Handled it exceptionally clean. Luke is back into the lead and does appear to be maintaining. Yeah, it is pulling away. Stock tyres maybe not being so nice through the crops as it is on the track pieces across the curves. You know, we use them for mid drop. Bit heavy on throttling, maybe a little dab of brake as well, did just miss the brake light through scraping. Nice entry and exit through the corners. And then across the line. 33.358 I believe was the first lap, and the 37.604. Luke has extended away slightly, so we are going to spend this final lap with Luke. Goes into the wall ride, pulls up for it nicely this time, exits clean, pulls across the curve. Really nice little light dab of brakes all the way. Car tries to misbehave, but Luke again makes the car do as he wants. Tilts slightly to the left to avoid the ramp. Really nicely done by Luke, and through into the chip. This is the final part of the track now for Luke. This is his home straight. Ability to take a 7-1 lead into the next place. Good brake boosting onto the platform by Luke. Good clean line, no real issue with the brake. Good and clean entry into the tube, nice high on that right wall. Pulls sharply in, bit of a brick on the entry into the tube, honk the horn from Luke. Maybe signified he's glad that it's not an important stage of the race. We will pop back to Roby as Luke is going to confirm it as 7-1. Whew. Wow. Luke has played a blinder hit, been in the majority exceptionally clean, maybe losing just a touch of focus towards the back end of the playlist. Just a touch. Made a couple more mistakes than we saw at the beginning through the first 5, but able to handle the pressure really well. Takes away a 7-1 lead into the second playlist. Luke, my man, you know it is my pleasure, my man. I'm in the parties a lot with you. You're one of my favourite people in the community. Congratulations on the victory. Unlucky this time, Robbie. And hopefully in the next couple of days it may be a bit more kind to you, because we know that you can give Luke more of a challenge than that. We know this isn't you in your true light. I know you are faster than this when I've raced against you myself. But again, this is no bad thing that I'm trying to say. Just putting it into a bit of context, we all know that you are quicker than this. Maybe the pressure of the 1v1 getting to you a little bit more than Luke. Luke handled it nicely, has taken a good, strong lead into the second playlist. And with this, I will send you over to both Luke's channel, that is Luke MDR01. I believe Robbie's is Robbie-Capuya. Do head over and check out both of them. If you want to see any more commentaries, please do flick through my own videos. Also head over to Marine Jack. And then as the curator of the competition, do head over and check out Esco, that is See My Build. He did come up with this whole competition, get everybody into it. The score was 7-1 Tyrese. Luke has taken a very strong lead into the second playlist. But I will be ending the stream here. Thank you all very much. I will be coming back tomorrow at 7 PM with Tagger v Nacho. And then I will also be bringing you a head-to-head with Track Racers versus the Ultimate Race Crew from around 10:15, 10:30, with the racing due to begin at around 11 PM. Before that, I'll be having a bit of a preamble, chatting to the guys, such, seeing how they're feeling going into it. But with that, that is me, and thank you all so very, very much for tuning in. Good night and goodbye.